They had no word for volcano. When the mountain exploded, they didn't understand what was killing them. Pompeii, August 24th, 79 AD, a city of 20,000 people, gone in less than 24 hours. This is the story of their final hour. Picture the Bay of Naples, blue water, golden sun, wine, laughter, trade. Pompeii wasn't just a city. It was paradise. Roman citizens lived here. Merchants, slaves, gladiators, families. The streets smelled like fresh bread and olive oil. Children played in the forums. Markets overflowed with fruit, fish, silk from the east. Mount Vesuvius stood behind the city. Quiet, green, beautiful. They didn't know it was a killer. For generations, that mountain just existed. A backdrop, a hill covered in vineyards. No one remembered it had ever erupted. No one knew what it could do. The Romans had no science for this, no warning system, no escape plan. They were living next to a loaded weapon, and on the morning of August 24th, it fired. Let me tell you about the people we found, the lovers, to bodies discovered holding each other, frozen mid-embrace. They chose to die together rather than run alone. The gladiator, chained in his cell, left behind when the arena masters fled. He pulled at his chains until the ash buried him. The mother, found covering her child's face with cloth, trying to filter the poisonous air. She suffocated protecting her daughter. The dog, still chained to a post, twisted in agony as the heat came. The family at dinner, plates still on the table. They waited too long, thought it would pass, and Pliny the Elder, the famous Roman admiral and author, he sailed toward the eruption, not away from it. He wanted to study it, to save people, to witness history. It killed him too. These weren't just ancient Romans. They were people, not real, terrified, human, and they left us their final moments, frozen in time. It started at 1 p.m. A crack, a rumble. Then a column of smoke and ash shot 20 miles into the sky. At first, people were curious, not afraid. They watched from their rooftops. But then the sky went dark. Midday turned to midnight. Ash started falling. Light at first, like gray snow, then heavier, then chunks of pumice stone, hot, sharp, falling from the sky like hail. Roofs began to collapse under the weight. People ran into the streets. Confusion, panic. Where do you go when the sky is falling? Some fled toward the sea. Boats escape. But the waves were violent. The air was poison. Others ran into their homes, locked the doors, hid in cellars, prayed to the gods. The ash kept coming, feet per hour, burying the city alive. But this wasn't the killer yet. The real horror came at night. At 1 a.m., Vesuvius released something the Romans had never seen. A pyroclastic surge, a superheated cloud of gas, ash, and rock moving at 450 miles per hour. Temperature, 570 degrees Fahrenheit. It rolled down the mountain like a wave of fire. It hit Pompeii in seconds. You couldn't outrun it. You couldn't hide from it. You couldn't breathe in it. It vaporized flesh instantly. It turned brains to glass. It superheated blood until bodies exploded from the inside. People died mid-step, mid-breath, mid-scream. The city didn't just fall. It was erased. There's a moment archaeologists found. A decision frozen in ash. A wealthy family. Their home filled with gold, jewelry, treasure. They could have run, but they went back inside to grab more. One more coin. One more statue. Greed killed them. They died in their entrance hall. Hands full of silver. Lungs full of ash. And here's the thing about Pompeii. It shows us something we don't want to see. That when disaster comes, we don't become heroes. We freeze. We deny. We hesitate. We go back for things that don't matter. The people who survived Pompeii, they were the ones who ran immediately, who left everything, who didn't look back. But most people, they waited, they calculated, they thought they had time. The mountain gave them no time, and so Pompeii became a city of final decisions, final mistakes, final moments, a snapshot of humanity at the edge of extinction. By sunrise, it was over. Pompeii was gone, buried under 20 feet of ash and stone. 20,000 people reduced to silence. The survivors in nearby towns looked back and saw nothing, just grey wasteland. The city had vanished. For 1,700 years, Pompeii stayed buried, forgotten, a legend, a ghost story, until 1748. A farmer digging a well, his shovel hit something hard, stone, carved stone. They started excavating, and what they found changed archaeology forever. A city perfectly preserved, bread still in ovens, paint still on walls, graffiti still on street corners, and the bodies. When the archaeologists poured plaster into the hollow spaces left by decomposed bodies, they got something impossible. The exact shape of people in their final seconds, their expressions, their clothing, their agony, mothers shielding children, men covering their faces, dogs pulling at chains, families huddled together. Pompeii didn't just die. It was photographed by ash, every scream, every prayer, every final breath captured. Today, Pompeii is one of the most visited archaeological sites on Earth. Millions walk its streets, touch its walls, stand where Romans stood, died. But here's what haunts me. We found graffiti in Pompeii, written on walls, messages from daily life. Successus was here. Gaius loves Aulus. I don't want to sell my husband. We had a great time here. Normal people, living normal lives. They had no idea they were living their final chapter. And maybe that's the real story of Pompeii. Not that a city was destroyed, but that a city was living. Fully, completely, until the second it wasn't. We've found over 1,000 bodies, but we haven't found them all. Thousands are still buried, still frozen, still waiting to tell their story. Vesuvius is still active. It last erupted in 1944, and 3 million people now live in its shadow. Naples, Herculaneum, modern cities built on ancient ash. History doesn't repeat, but it echoes, and Pompeii's echo is still screaming. They had no word for volcano, but they gave us something more powerful than words. They gave us their final hour, frozen, preserved, eternal. Pompeii didn't just fall. It became immortal, a city that died so completely. It could never be forgotten. If you love cinematic history stories, like share, and subscribe for more legendary stories.